spotted us. With me, Torgal. So much for the men of the Rock. Dalmekia's finest. Won't be going any further this way. Stairs. This must be the way out. Time to fight. Past this one. How did it get in here? Too slow. flames. Come on, Torgal. Kupka never did do things by halves. As if taking the Mother Crystal for his own wasn't enough. He had to build his castle in it.
Let the trial begin.
What the hell?
With me, Torgal.
Seems we're expected.
So this is the power of Mythos.
Did the orcs do this too? What the hell is going on? Are these things here for me? Or for him? First orcs, now these nightmares. Is this your doing, Ultima?
It's over. Fine hand. Help me, boy. Let's try. To me, boy.
That's better. You've been busy, Kupka. But where did you go? The heart. He's in the sanctuary. I can feel it. Come on, Toggle. Just what I needed. That better be the last of them.
Benedicta, my everything. I've missed you so much. Kuka! I swear to you, my love, we will never be parted again.
What's wrong with him?
You got away from her! Benedicta! I'll kill you, Oswald!
Oh shit, he's priming. No, not you can do it.
And so could I!
Let's give this a try.
What's up, Hugo? Your time.
Ultima. What do you want?
Your soul is tainted with worthless human will, yet your thirst for power remains undiminished. With every sip you take, you grow in strength, and soon you shall achieve perfection.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You will accept us, Mythos. It is inevitable. You were created for this purpose, and you shall serve it.
Never!
Fight it, Clyde! Don't let him in!
Consciousness. We see now. Human will is so insubstantial it cannot exist in isolation. You mitigate its weakness by interweaving it with your consciousness. We believed we had merely to purge you of your will to claim our vessel. It appears we first have to sever every thread of the consciousness that supports it. No matter. The time to build a new world is not yet upon us. We will contemplate.
Thank you, Joshua.
One can no more command the power of ether by drowning in its flood than one can constrain the tides by standing in the sea. I had thought Hugo wiser than this, but it seems his head was full of rocks after all.
Titan was strong.
Your Majesty.
But Mythos is stronger. For 5 years, that man lived only for revenge. Clinging fast to a fiction, even as it swept him into the abyss. One cannot change one's nature through force of will alone. Only the Almighty can do that.
Hugo Kupka, the man who gave his life for a woman's head. A fool like all the rest.
That the death of a mother crystal should be so beautiful.
Some medicine, my lord? I have salves, potions, anything you need.
Stop bothering me, urchin, or you'll feel the back of my hand.
You must consider your health, my prince. If a show of force is needed to keep the Dalmex at bay, you may trust in your dragoons. I beg you to call on Bahamut only as a last resort. His strength comes at too great a cost.
The Empire agreed to an armistice with the Republic, and yet the Emperor still plots its ruin. For now, the Dalmex suspect nothing, and as long as I can hold their gaze, war need not be inevitable. But more than that, Bahamut is the champion of the Empire. When our people look to the heavens, the sight of him gives them hope. Forgive me, Terence. Would that you were my master. But alas.
I will always be your loyal servant.
Should the Council's brazen maneuvering prompt the Republic to tear up their own treaty and launch a new assault, our soldiers would advance to meet them, cutting across the Central Isles, but not in time to prevent their forces from breaching the southern defenses and storming Twinside. And so the capital would become a battlefield. Thousands of innocents would die. I cannot allow that to happen.
There is one small mercy, at least. You will not be forced to do battle with Titan.
Would that I could avoid doing battle at all.
1,000 pardons, Your Highness.
What is it?
Olivier has been made Emperor. What is the meaning of this? My father's orders. What were they? Quickly!
Yes, Your Highness. His Radiance requests that Your Highness maintain position here and...
Ah! Terence.
Yes, my prince.
I must go to the palace.
I'll ready your steed.
What is it now?
Forgive the intrusion, Your Highness.
I know you.
At ease.
We stand in the presence of the Phoenix. You wouldn't want to get your fingers burned.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. Though I admit, I did not expect such a distinguished guest.
How many years has it been since the Remembrance ceremony? 20?
I thought you long dead. Do I address a ghost?
Many have told me that I look like one. But no. I'm alive. Just. Prince Dion of the House Lesage, I have a tale to tell you.
I'd better give Otto the good news.
What became of Kupka? Why haven't we heard anything?
We're seeing troops amassing at every border crossing.
No surprises there.
Clive, you're back.
I am. And with glad tidings for once. Hugo Kupka is no more.
Well, I'll be. All of our comrades who lost their lives back at Sid's place be smiling down at you right now.
We had a stolus from Lubor saying Drake's fang had fallen. I expect that was your doing as well, was it?
It's a long story.
One for the history books, I'll bet.
Welcome home, Clive.
It's good to be back. You look better.
I feel it. Which means I'm coming on your next little adventure. You're not leaving me behind again.
Wouldn't dream of it. Otto, any word on the Royalist movements since I've been away?
Shouldn't you be putting your feet up? If you really want to know, go and have a word with Vivian.
Thank you. I will.
Ah, the conquering hero returns. And with hardly a scratch on him.
I may have picked up one or two.
Well, the fact that you came straight to me instead of visiting our resident Physica suggests that you picked up something more important. A scent. The scent of Waludas.
The very same. But whatever plans Kupka was hatching with the Royalists, he took them to his grave. As did his men. Slaughtered by the orcs who'd taken over the Fang. Orcs, Vivian. I've never seen such creatures in Storm before. The Waludas must have ferried them over from Ash, but why? Why work to rescue Kupka only to invade his home, the mother crystal of an allied nation, and let both fall? It makes no sense.
Do you know the tale of the blind men and the Adamantus? One can often be led astray by focusing too closely on individual details. One must instead see the bigger picture. And what bigger picture is there than my map? The Kingdom of Waloed claims dominion over all of Ash. It is a nation forged by the bloody conquest of Barnabas Tharm, the dominant of Odin. The Canvarian War of Independence in 849. The Battle of the Twin Realms in 865. The Battle of Belinus Tor in 873. Wheresoever his armies fought, Odin was found where the fighting was fiercest. But of late, the warrior king appears to have laid his sword to rest. Battle rages for control of the crystalline dominion. Yet Tharm sends not a single ship in support of his Dhalmekian allies. Meanwhile, the Blight ravages great swathes of Ash. Yet warlike Waloed shows not the faintest interest in laying claim to untouched lands. So why go to the trouble of sending an army of orcs into the heart of Drake's Fang, only to make no attempt to claim the Mother Crystal for Waloed? It can hardly be for lack of men. Tharm's armies rival any in the Twins. No. We have not seen the last of the Waloed standard. Odin will ride again. It is but a question of when. And on that day, who will be trampled underfoot? In summary, I know not to what end the Royalists betrayed Kupka. I know only that it is part of some broader scheme. A scheme tied to the ambitions of one man.
King Barnabas.
But there is no need to wallow in confusion. If one is to cure a sickness, one must first identify the symptoms. And your Lord Uncle has volunteered to do just that by keeping an eye on the Royalists' movements.
He's really throwing himself into this.
Indeed he is. Which means all that remains for us to do is await his reports. Well, not quite all in your case. The people of the Hideaway must hear the news. Justice has been done. Hugo Kupka is dead. The wounds he left that night are still raw. Especially for those who lived with Sid the longest. Tell them that those wounds might finally begin to heal. Consider it the price of today's instruction.
I've never known you to be sentimental.
What can I say? I am only human. And we are, all of us, sentimental animals at heart.
I suppose we are. Very well. I'll go and spread the word.
Here for another of my lectures. Allow me to educate you. Here you are. Thus ends today's lesson.
It's good to have you back. I was worried.
Well, someone looks pleased with himself. It's true what I'm hearing, then.
Nothing escapes you, Lady Karen. It's true. Kupka is dead.
No more looking over our shoulders, then. Good. I'm starting to get a crick in my neck. Don't let it go to your head, though. Is it business or pleasure? Is that all?
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
What is it? I'm busy.
I wanted to tell you that Hugo Kupka is dead.
I can't tell you how long I've been waiting to hear those words. This is it then. A new beginning under a new Sid.
I'll try to live up to the name.
back, are you? So, what'll it be? No scratches, all right? Yeah, that should do you. My best work, but it'll do. Yeah, that should do you. Anything else?
Well, don't just stand there gawping. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
Clive. So, what'll it be? That it? Fine.
Is it business or pleasure? Coin purse weighing you down? Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
Clive, have you come seeking the gift of knowledge?
No. To share mine, actually. Hugo Kupka is dead.
Oh my. Can it really be true?
Look, he's crying. He is. The big baby.
And with good reason, children. These are tears of joy. We must offer up a prayer to your parents that the heavens might weep with us. There shall be no lessons today, only thanksgiving and merrymaking. Go, put away your things.
All right. Brilliant.
Finally, a new dawn has broken.
It has.
Thank you, Clive. I cannot wait to share the good news.
Hippocrates. After Kupka fell, Ultima came to me. I need to know what he is. Have you learned anything?
Alas, no. And not for want of trying. I have scoured nigh every historical tome in our collection and found nothing. Not even the sort of conspicuous absence that might suggest a concealment of fact. One is almost tempted to conclude that such a creature never existed.
But I saw him. With my own eyes.
I don't doubt that you did. Alas, it seems you are the only one who has. To others, he reveals naught. We see only that which he leaves in his wake, like some terrible force of nature beyond the ken of mortal man.
A bringer of death.
Whether the Ultima you met with was the being itself, or merely another projection of its power, I know not. But until I do, my investigations shall continue.
Thank you. It means a lot. Right. Let's see if Otto has anything else for me.
telling you, it's true.
We're seeing troops amassing at every border crossing.
You've barely sat down since you came home. Vivian got you running errands or something?
Just spreading the word.
So, the Professor's got a soft side, has she? I'd never have guessed.
No. She was right, though. Everyone was glad to hear the news.
Ah, but you ain't told everyone. I can think of plenty of friends back at the old hideaway who'd sleep more peacefully for knowing. Not least of all Sid. You should tell him.
You're right. I should. And I will.
Well, when you do, be sure to take Mid with you. She's been going at it hammer and tongs down in that workshop of hers, trying to do her father proud. I can't remember the last time she visited the old sod's grave.
Very well. I'll suggest it.
I went up to give some greens to the chocobo.
Celebratory spirit. Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures.
If I don't come up with something soon. All right, Clive? What do you want?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal...
displacement stack. Here.
And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen. The Enterprise. Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in. The hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Good old Clive. I were hoping you'd say that. First things first, I need some parts mecking. The sack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in flames.
A full suit of armor, then. Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
I can't make head nor tail of them.
Luckily, you don't need to.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Quick look. Think you can help?
Blackthorn, can I ask a favor?
Out with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. Spare myself the arseache. Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Krieger's Teats. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy, though. And I'll need help. Get Gavin-Otto in here, will you?
All right.
So Mid's roped us all in here again, hasn't she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual sword grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very fast, and still keep its shape. That means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at the temperatures she's talking about. Which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out already. You'll have to fetch them. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Valcroy. Stardust, they call it. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up. One of us should probably give you an hand collecting the sand.
And the other can go and get the rest from this supplier.
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where, and we can get this over with. You going after the Stardust then, are you? Which one of these 2 lucky souls is going with you?
Gav, you're with me.
All right, then. So, where do we find this Stardust stuff?
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy. It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
Southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh? That's down past Dalamil. I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring us a wagon to bring the stuff back to.
All right. I'll meet you by the river.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of the stuff from Blackthorn's supply. Take care.
You two, eh? Don't go letting them fleece you.
Fleece me? I like to see him try.
In your own time.
Sounds like this river we're looking for is south of the Dalamil Inn. I'll hire us a wagon and meet you there.
He cracked the crystal too.
The most fragrant herbs and spices.
There'll be no one to man the shop. Gone, just like that. And without so much as a bar your lip.
What's the matter?
It's my apprentice. I'd go and look for him myself, but I've got a bakery to run. A bakery that's now short. What loath though I am to rely on the kindness of strangers, I'm at a loss.
I'll see what I can do. Do you know where he might have gone?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was off somewhere mooning at Drake's Fang. He used to work there, you see. Poor fool left his...
All right. Then that's...
Oh, where do I go?
Made from the stoutest stoneware.
No, I'm telling you, it's gone.
You deserve a rest.
My blade yet hungers, and so do I. Come, let us feast on your flesh.
days are over. Too slow.
Want some more?
Snap you like a twig!
Nice try. Nice try. Those who kill for sport deserve no better. Excuse me.
What do you want?
The baker sent me to find you.
I am a sorry, selfish sod, aren't I? It's certainly not a baker. Master must have ruled the day he took me in. Time was the sight of the fang used to calm my nerves. But now look at her.
I take it you missed the Mother Crystal.
I hated her, but she was all I knew. Worked her mines for years. And when she shattered, I had to trade my pickaxe for a rolling pin. But I'm no good at baking. Every loaf I touch collapses. My bread's as hollow as iron. She was the only thing that could fill the hole inside me. But now she's gone. She's never come. What am I supposed to do? I ask her. How does a shell of a man learn to live again?
Try to remember the good times. Do that, and the Mother Crystal will be with you no matter where you are.
Even in the bakery. What a fool I've been. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I have to get back there right away.
Wait. Suppose you won't be needing an escort then.
Take a sniff, good sir. You'll be
Ah, there you are. The man who lit a fire under my wayward apprentice. Though I worry you might have stoked the flames a little too high. He damn near ran me down trying to get to my oven.
Master, it's ready. Behold the Drake's Balm. A truly unique creation.
I dare say it is.
Just look at it. A perfect likeness of the Fang herself. Her steepled peaks, her fulsome spurs, her inviting hollow. True, my loaves collapse more often than not, but what's the Fang without her crater? Why, no Fang. And look, inside. She's filled to bursting with a bounty of beautiful crystals. Master, I have found my purpose. I must use my work here to preserve...
Well, if it tastes half as unique as it looks, I'd certainly say you're onto something. Not only is my apprentice back, but he's finally pulling his weight. With any luck, I might even have a new delicacy on my... I don't know how you did it, but you have... Now, Dusan, I know you're keen, but...
Yes, they're quite
My carpets have pride of place in...
Looks like I found the river. Now where's Gav? Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this Stardust stuff as we can. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dalamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of the stuff lying about, just begging to be bagged.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
We shall. Race ya.
So this is Stardust. It just looks like black sand to me. That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough. I hope.
Oh, you win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go, do you mind? Feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work at.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand, or you can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy line.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you. Right. That's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at someone.
You go on ahead. And try to get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to. After Blackthorn gets what he needs, of course.
Right. Ready to go home, boy?
Good day to you.
The crystals.
Ah, Clive. Your timing is exquisite, as always.
Go on.
There are whisperings afoot of shadowy figures having been sighted, rustlings in the undergrowth, suspicious noises. My people fear that it may be no more than a surfeit of nerves, understandable in the current climate, or it may be the prelude. Given what I hope you'll forgive me calling your nose for trouble, I wondered if you might...
Of course.
Excellent. You might begin by speaking with the good citizens of Lostwing. Listen to their tales, and make what you will of them.
All right. I will. Right. Let's see what the people of the village have to say. I'd better find out if this is just nerves, or something we need to take more seriously.
You alright, Sid? Something on your...
There is, actually. Quentin tells me people have mentioned shadowy figures out in the woods.
Oh, that. I heard the rumours, mind, from the lads working over at the vineyard, but none of them...
All right.
The crystals we get from the tail.
You're quite talented with that rod of yours.
Do you have a moment? There's talk of suspicious figures in the woods. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary?
No, but I've heard something. Sound of scraping metal, like someone sharpening a sword.
Where was this?
In Lorbert's Pass. Was out foraging for herbs when I heard it, screeching out from between the trees. Ran back here as quick as my legs would carry me, and I ain't been back since.
I see. I'll look into it. Thank you. Seems Lorbert's Pass is our best bet, then. What do you say, Torgal? Shall we go and investigate? You there.
Fuck! He's seen us. Get them before they escape!
Black shields. Here. What the
hell are you doing here? What is it to you? We give a damn. All that matters to us is that you don't leave here alive. Attack! Vogel, kill! Over here! Down, Vogel! You lose!
Why were they here? Are they planning an attack on Lost Wing? I need to warn Quentin.
Good day to you.
The crystals we get from this.
Clive, how goes the hunt?
I found some black shields hiding near Lorbert's Pass. They're
Black shields. The Emperor, though they serve another master now. One who means to root out and destroy both me and those. And it would appear the pack has finally caught the scent of its prey. Damn it all. I had hoped I would have more time than this. More time to prepare. And bite back
I'm sorry. You're going to need to... Who did the Black Shield serve now? And why would that person want you dead?
Because I want him.
Who?
The former Lord Chief Justice of Sanbreque. All that I have built here...
I don't understand. Why him? Why Lost Wing?
I suppose I was a member of the judiciary once. So sickened was I by the injustice of this world, I swore, and fight it I did in my own. I saw more than a few corrupt officials condemned to the very cells into which they had thrown blameless innocents. Men to whom the law was but a scourge, and throughout it was the Lord Chief Justice who backed me, who was my one true ally in the quest.
So what changed?
I discovered that he hunted bear. I was a fool to think he shared my hatred of venality and vice. His support for me was no more than a means of ridding himself of his rivals, a mask to hide the rot beneath. His response, however, was rather more visceral, and he faced no punishment I lost everything. My loved ones, the faith I had once held that any modicum of justice might be achieved through the... So I set about enacting my own. I tracked down every soul who served him, and split. But the man himself proved an altogether more difficult target. With money and power come protection. And so I saw that I would need an army of my own. I came here to Lost Wing and began recruiting like-minded individuals.
Everyone here knows this is why you do what you do.
Of course. They too have lost loved ones to seen faultless friends sent to the gallows to spare the guilty. All under the watch. Our wounds are the same. And our cause is the same. We are comrades. And our revenge is already in motion. We know where he hides, how numerous and well-trained his... What we did not know until now, however, was that his plans may already be in motion.
Quentin.
Our time is short. He may move against us at any moment, unless we... My friends and comrades, it begins. Make ready for war.
I'm not going to change his mind. Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs. Blackthorn, got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the Stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. Or beat sneaking around on your Todd all the time.
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It'll take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
He cracked the crystal too.
There's nothing left but a crater.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts? All yours. Come again. I may have more for you.
Let me know if you find any books worth reading.
Oh, we've hundreds of them in the shelves. Why don't I show you round one day? Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
Mid hasn't been her usual self lately. Hardly ever see her with a smile. She's always down in that dungeon of hers, muttering away.
If I don't come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry?
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. You know, this is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to... Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why? If sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern.
You can stop there. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen room. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
If you're ready, we leave at once.
Oh, there you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you...
Of course. Anybody home? This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go. The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid!
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safe.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
I've seen troops amassing in every door.
I think Mid might need some help tidying up.
If I don't come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prism for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him? See what he makes of it?
Right away. Hippocrates, do you have the moment?
For you, Clive, always.
Well, actually, it's for Mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril engine? Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelus complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients,
I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company, too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. We could have done with some of that on Drustinus.
I doubt I would have survived that place with or without it. A trip to Northreach, though, I think either of us could handle.
So, Clive, have you made your decision? Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
Very well. So then, what do we need to find?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
White chocobo eggs. Pepio nuts. Are you sure this list is right? Everything on here seems very edible. I would have thought the ingredients would be a little more exotic.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited, effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Is that so? I've been meaning to visit Northreach anyway. I'll set out now. Join me there when you're ready.
I will. Until then.
You two enjoy yourselves.
You too, Talia. Now, where's Jill?
And what can I do for you? I'll be here if you need me.
Keep them pilgers nice and chilled. I won't have use.
Are those Pepio nuts? Can have
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
I've only just started. I'm sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all these stalls, though. Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple of ingredients each.
All right. What am I looking for?
How about you look for the Pepio nuts and some garlic? I'll find the other things we need. We can meet by the gate when we're finished.
Up! You'll not find a bruised pippin in the bushel.
Fresh cuts. Come and get them before they're gone.
We haven't much, but you're free to look. I hope it's to your liking. Good day. All anyone ever wants anymore.
What do you want? If that's what you want. And? Go on. Take it.
That's everything. Let's see how Jill's getting on.
Did you find everything?
I did.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Now all that remains is for Harpocrates to somehow turn all this into what Mid needs to keep her engine. But before we head back, would you walk with me a while? Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were children. Do you remember? Walking down Market Street in Rosalith, taking in the sights and smells.
How could I forget? What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. We wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
Was there anything you wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, sort of. Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies. Thought you might like to share one with me.
I would. Thank you.
And I saw some bread. Big white cobs like the baker back in Rosalith used to make. What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham and it was just... oh.
You all right?
Sorry. It's just... you're right. I really do feel like a child again being here with you. Clive. Is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
No, Jill. This is how life should be. And it's how our lives will be when our work is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
I hope so. Thank you, Clive. Well, I suppose we better be getting back. I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates and Talia. I'll see you at the hideaway.
Take care.
I will. You too.
I wonder how Harpocrates is getting on with the moon dew.
Thanks to Sid.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Harpocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Talia how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course. Oh, and Clive, thank you. It was nice just being with you.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moondew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other. Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Hippocrates. Well, I better go and give... the good news, then.
We're seeing troops amassing in every
I think Mid might need some help.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just...
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding...
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way.
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is going to require some precision walloping.
It's finished. It's finally finished.
Thank fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming, thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown, searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might... That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we need it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want it to be that. I don't want it to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of... In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that, and I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans. I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too, now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Really?
All right, Clive. Has Mid finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the Twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old... No excuses now, though.
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure
She said that? In those words?
She...
Clive, were you born yesterday or something? There is no... She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might...
Is that the thing Tomes helped to build?
Obelus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat.
Then I'm too late.
You in a hurry at all, are you? Oh, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clap. Got some life. But anyway, I was on my way up this. Got a letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obelus.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, Uncle? trouble in Canva, well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on me.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sun?
Well, nothing but the next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest...
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Gotta admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in, all just like when we built this place. Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least. Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. But if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Kuka is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. And not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there'll be no escaping sights like these. So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's Tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we'd do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go? With them? Oh, thanks, Nan!
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot! There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav?
Already on my way, Captain.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
Do you see that, Sid? Your protégé's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
Crack the crystal too? You're joking.
Hopefully it's nothing. But I should speak to Blackthorn just in case. What could be wrong with Torgor? He seemed well enough when I last saw him. Trouble with the ledgers. Shouldn't he be asking Otto for help? Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. August was worried about you, that you might still be doubting your craft, even after learning the trick of that cuirass. Is there something else weighing on your mind? Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, you got a keen eye, I'll give him that. It's just, well, Karen showed me something. Something I've never seen before.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me. The edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realised he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you?
Nah. Not troubling me exactly. More distracting. Can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp?
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah?
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that, but I can't say I'm not grateful for it.
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about this sword. I got your note. You think something's wrong with Torgal?
So you can read. But I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He's not been eating me treats. He didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on somewhat else. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it you said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything, you mean?
You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want? Out.
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn.
Running around after him again?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work an edge like that. It's driving...
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private collect, which made it nice and easy finding a...
Can you tell me who bought it?
You think I tell people who my clients? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Delmecian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's a touch eccentric. If you tell me.
I appreciate the warning.
Back, are ya? You ever wonder where the hell Karen finds all these treasures of that blade? I've never seen anything like the edge on that thing. So, what'll it be? That it? Fine.
Lawsman, I need to ask you about...
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened to...
I rather think she might be right. Though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides with, and I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to... It may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no... Frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different as to where one might find a suitable substitute. Some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousin.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to...
Good hunting, Clive.
I don't know where Sid gets the energy. Mid told me she was building a ship.
Clive, did you get...
That's why I'm here.
Shh. Oh, don't make me listen. A little. Listen. I've some bad news. It's maybe my fault, but I swear to the goddess, sadly, that square turned out to be more of a circle. I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's gonna take some time. I'm gonna need help keeping it from... Bit late for that, I'd say. There you are! So let me get this straight. You forget to pay our lenders what they're due, and instead of coming straight to them, you get Clive to come to you. And I will dig you up. The man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you thought this was a cunning plan. Well, who needs paying? Oh, just Martha. And the dame. And, well, Lady Karen. But only 500 talent. We owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million gil. Each. 5 million each. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of... Those ledgers were my responsibility.
We have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you won't. We've lightened Lord Rosfield's purse after the king's ransom we had off him. He deserves better than to see our begging. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own if we're gonna make this work.
All right. But that doesn't mean you have to shoulder the burden yourself. Is there anything I can do to help?
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha and the dame?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. Worth 1,000 talents apiece, these are. A little something Sid and I set aside for when times got lean. And I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our associates' eyes are a bit more discerning than yours.
I'm sure they will be.
But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, arses to wipe and all that.
I know. Which is why I don't mind going in your place.
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2 star rubies? Because you'd rather Lady Karen... Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you. Well, I suppose this is goodbye then.
Don't worry. I'm sure Karen will understand.
Really? Do you think so?
No.
Here for another of my lectures? Allow me to educate you. Here's the latest information I have. Thus ends today's lesson.
Wish I could take one of our
mid might need some help.
Well, that's it then. Here, Sid. Reckon you might be just the man.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's about this alembic the chief's got me making. Lovely bit of kit it is. Bunging a solution you want splitting, and the problem is, it won't always get rid of all the impurity, which is why I've been looking for something to filter the liquid we'll be cooking off. And that's where I was hoping.
I imagine Ty could get some use out of this alembic too. Distilling medicines and the like.
Proper.
So what exactly do you need for this filter?
Nothing but bomb ash'll do. Says they gave me a sample she'd obtained from the university stores. You pour the blackest blight water through it, and it comes out clear as a mountain. So, I did a bit of reading about where I might be able to get hold of some. And do you know what I found out? It's only the blimmin' bones of a bomb king. They leave them behind when they die.
I take it that's where I come in.
I saw a billet on the hunt board for one just the other day. Would have gone myself, but, well, fighting dirty great balls of flame isn't exactly my forte.
All right.
Thank you kindly. And
How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal helped too. Didn't you, boy?
Clive, we weren't...
I wasn't expecting to, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take...
A star, Ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected a bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again.
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been... And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement. And rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, not that, and you keep good company.
It's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal? Now... will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question. Which means we owe the lawsmen our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big... You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
The whole mother crystal gone. What are we gonna do?
Calm yourself. We don't know for sure. It could have just been...
My reputation will be ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you.
Pardon the intrusion.
Out! Get... I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed.
Please, allow me to... His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf, this is...
Very good. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? No. That's just what lordship is. Though the morning's event, he has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady...
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my...
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went?
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalamil is said to pass through that...
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange...
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell.
There's talk at the glass door.
How the hell is anyone supposed to afford?
Did you hear that? The gate's to heaven.
I want to see you.
What am I going to do without Sweetwater and oil of talc?
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion. Oh, my.
Otto asked me to give it to you, to settle the Hideaway's debt with the Veil, and to compensate you for the time it took.
I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing. Nor does the My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least...
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, and for Otto's. For all of us.
It is rather fetching. Otto is lucky to have you. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the Hideaway...
Otto had a son.
Long ago. Yes. And blamed himself for not being able to stop. I don't know how it happened. Whether there was anything he could have done. But it was clear that it weighed heavily.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in an ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help.
Goooo will want to know the stones were delivered, if he's still with us.
Is that the thing Tomes helped with?
Ned told me she was building a ship.
Goat. Still alive, I see. So Lady Karen accepted the ruby.
Ah, about it. But she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the...
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can do.
Oh, wonderful.
I don't know where Sid gets the energy.
Lady Karen, Goat tells me you weren't happy with her. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you lot me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the act, but those were donations. And you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become...
Oh, so you're a prick? Fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star route. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice. Might be I already have a buyer in. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
I hear you ended up delivering all... Thanks to this lump, I sometimes wonder what I paid.
Speaking of which,
Oh! So you remember what's owed to you, then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers are
right away.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him. How long did you know Sid before?
Before he died. 20-something. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship. He bought passage to... I forget where. And having nothing better to do on the long nights, we set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duty. Quit my post not long after that. On account of making a fine maiden, but me and Sid stayed close. Promising we'd one day... That was... before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day. And there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have?
My family wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him. And I couldn't for the life of me understand how they... Luckily, it was him who stood beside me when all I wanted, him who cried for me when I had no tears left of him, who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from... And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks threw away everything he had, all to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends. He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shove people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
I don't know where Sid gets the energy.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. So, Molly's leftovers weren't good in... Well, teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right. No need. Now we know what you're after. I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with...
You can, aye. I'm nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody...
I was just on my way to see him.
Ah, Clive. Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction. And Torgal's...
Very good, very...
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving the mystery.
Ah. But that reminds me. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's...
About how she somehow woke the power?
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. But one which raised certain questions in my mind. The Fenrir of legend served Shiva, and while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you described Torgal.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Sid. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to yours. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce.
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our adversaries.
Oh,